The big question is, how do you use a glucose meter to reverse diabetes? And I'm going to show you exactly how it works in this little video. I just came from McDonald's, and it is around supper time, but I'm not going to quite eat all this, but let's just talk about what we have, and let's go into a pretend scenario. Let's imagine I know nothing about diabetes, nothing about metabolic syndrome, nothing about carbohydrates or fats or protein or how they affect blood sugar. Let's just say I know nothing when it comes to food except I like to eat it. And let's pretend I'm a truck driver. I've been driving trucks for 30 years, and this is my go-to meal. Every time I stop at McDonald's, whether it's lunch or dinner, I will get some French fries and a hamburger and a Coke. So, Coke, French fries, hamburger. And then my doctor tells me I've got diabetes, and he says, why don't you use this and figure out what you should eat and what you shouldn't? That's all I know. He doesn't even tell me what I should or should not eat. He just says, why don't you use this to figure it out? And he explains to me about doing post-meal tests. What you say is a post-meal test? Well, by its official name, it's a postprandial test, but arose by any other name, right? A post-meal test means you eat a meal, and then you time yourself from the minute you stop that meal. And then you test yourself at a certain point later on. And what I like to look for would be the peak. Some people think the 2-hour mark after eating is the gold standard. That's all there is, baby, just 2 hours after eating. I'm enough of a rebel to not just buy what people have been saying. I mean, they've been saying a lot of wrong things about blood sugar for a long time. What I've discovered is more important to me is when will I hit my peak? The minute I eat, my blood sugar will start to rise a little bit after that. It will go up, 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 up. It will hit a peak. And then after a bit, it'll go down, 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 down. And what I want to know, when I try out foods like this, Mr. Truck Driver who's been eating at McDonald's for the last 30 years, I'm 55, been doing it since I was 25, under this pretend scenario. What I want to know is, how high will my glucose rise before it starts heading back down? So, and I'm determined to figure out ways that are going to help me to beat diabetes. So I have my normal meal, and I eat this meal, drink my Coke, eat my fries, eat my burger. I wait an hour and 15 minutes, like somebody told me I should, and I test myself, and lo and behold, it reads 237. And I know enough to know that's not so good. So I'm now realizing that this meal, the way I've been eating it for the last 30 years, is not really so good. And now that my doctor tells me I have diabetes, I've got to do something about it. So I look at my meal to say, okay, what works, what doesn't? Well, I know that this soda has a lot of sugar in it, so I say, fine. I'll skip the soda, and I will eat the hamburger and the French fries, and I'll have a glass of water. So I drink water with my meal. I skip the soda. Last time it was 235. Now I test it, and it goes up to 195. And I say, aha! That tells me that soda is making a difference. I'm going to start skipping sodas from now on. You can either go to diet sodas, you can go to water, you can't drink regular soda, that's for sure. So I'm going to water, hamburger, French fries, 195. But guess what? That's still not good enough. 195 is not a good peak at all. It's not normal, it's not healthy. It's going to provoke insulin, the glucose is going to get you. It's just not good. So I look at my meal some more and I say, what? What else can I do? I say to myself, well, you know what? Somebody told me that French fries could be a problem because they're starches, and starches are basically molecules of sugar that are all chained together. And the minute they get into your stomach, they break apart and become sugar once again. They don't taste like sugar. They taste kind of salty and good. But the minute they get into my stomach, they're going to affect me. So guess what? I'm going to do away with these French fries. No more fries. From now on, it's just me and my lonely burger. And so I eat my hamburger. I test myself beforehand. 115, not great, but not too bad. I test afterwards. It's now 165. Well, it's getting better. It was 235, then it jumped down to 195. Now it's 165. But I'm still not satisfied because I'm wanting to get things below 140. That's kind of like the magic number. So I think, all right, what if I take off the top bun and wipe away some of this ketchup, because that ketchup's got some sugar in it, and put the top bun aside, and now I'm just eating the hamburger and the bottom bun. I wonder what that will do. I eat my hamburger with my bottom bun only, no more fries, no more soda, have some water, and I test myself, and lo and behold, now it says 132. And I say, wow, that's the first number I've had. Now, this is, again, an hour and 15 minutes after eating. I wait till I'm done eating, set a timer on my phone or whatever kind of timer you want to have. An hour and 50 minutes later, I pull my truck off the highway, and I get my trusty glucose meter out, test myself, and now I'm down to 132. And it's like, wow, now that's pretty reasonable. I didn't have much of a spike. I just had a gentle rise, and after a couple of hours, it's back down to 115, maybe 112, maybe 110. And I say to myself, now this works, but there's a problem. This is not going to fill me up. I mean, I'm a burly truck driver, and this is just not enough. That's when you learn to go for the substitutes. Now, for example, McDonald's makes a bacon ranch salad. It's very low carb. At least they used to. I haven't bought one in quite some time. But I could order that, and that would help me fill me up. If I'm at home, then there's a number of things I can use. A big chunk of cheese, not going to have many carbs. There's a number of foods. I can have a whole can of green beans, which would be far superior than all these French fries. So I learned to make substitutes. And so I've got my hamburger with my half bun. Then I think, you know what? I think I'll just get rid of the other half. You say, well, boy, now you're really not going to get full. But I just pile on some other things. Now, what I could do is just order 2 of those McDoubles and just take the buns off both and pile it up until I've got 4 meat patties, or 6 if I want to. And then I start filling it up with some low-carb vegetables or a salad, various things that will not spike blood sugar. But every time I make a change, I eat my meal, set my timer, and I wait an hour and 15 minutes after I finish my last bite. After I finish my meal, I set my timer for an hour and 15 minutes, test my blood sugar, and I try different things. When I find something that works for me, and I say like, well, that's only a 118, or that's a 122, or that's a 125, an hour and 15 minutes after eating, put that on my list. Approved. And then I can go on YouTube, and I can go to the YouTube search engine and type in keto meals, keto recipes, low-carb meals, low-carb recipes. Boom. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos about how to make different keto and low-carb meals. Now, I don't take it for granted that they know what they're talking about. You got to be a little bit cynical. If I'm going through the store and I see keto bread, keto this, low-carb that, I don't take it for granted that it'll work for me. But I'll test it. And what I am doing is I'm putting my foods and my meals through a vetting process. I'm vetting them. I'm checking out, are they really living up to what they claim? And after a while, I've got meal after meal. I find out how to make low-carb pancakes. I find out how to make chaffles and all these keto, low-carb foods that do not spike blood sugar. And I've got them listed on my list. Well, this meal only bumps me up to 118. This meal bumped me up to 125. Guess what? After I use this meter quite a bit, I don't need to use him so much anymore. It's not like he ever retires. I'll still use him here and there, but I won't use him nearly so much. Some of you think I'm such a fanatic. I test myself after every meal. Wrong. I don't. I test myself when I'm doing new things, or I test myself for your sake. But I've got a pretty good handle on what works and what doesn't for me. And there's a lot of meals I eat I don't need to test myself at all. This is how you do it. This is how you reverse diabetes. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it at going to McDonald's or whether you're going to some other restaurant or you're making all your meals at home. Doesn't matter. The main thing is you find out meals that give you a gentle rise, not a violent spike, not bumping you up to 200 and dropping you way down in about an hour's time, but a gentle rise and a gentle gradual decrease. And you're off to the races to beat diabetes. It will come down. Your fasting glucose will get lower. Your A1C will become better. Your post-meal test, they're going to make you or break you. If you can stop all that spiking, you'll win. You just can't afford to constantly spike your glucose. Every meal, up and down, up and down. Every snack, up and down. Just gentle rises and gentle decreases, and all will be well. So get out your meter and start testing yourself. After a while, you'll say, Mike, you've done me such a lot of good, but you know what? I don't need you as much. I hope you won't get your feelings hurt. I'm not going to divorce you. I'll still use you here and there, but I don't need you nearly so much as I used to. So I'm going to put you in the drawer, and once in a while I'll come get you. Don't worry, Mike, I haven't forgotten you. But I just don't need you as much as I used to. And your A1C is now in the 5s, and your fasting glucose is around 100, maybe a little bit lower. And your doc says, how in the world did you do that? I mean, you were up to a 12 A1C, and now you're down to a 5.6? How in the world did you do that? And you say, Doc, let me tell you about a fella named Mike. Mike the meter. Well, I had part of what you saw as my dinner. Which part would that be? Was it the French fries? Nope. Was it the soda? Well, yeah, because it was a diet soda. I was pretending like it was a real soda, but it was a diet soda. I did go ahead and drink that. I know some of you will criticize me for it, but I'm human. But I didn't have any buns at all. And I had intended to buy a bacon ranch salad with grilled chicken on it. And that's what I thought I ordered. But I made the mistake, which you just can't do when you go to McDonald's. I didn't look in my bag when they handed it to me. I just took it. And it turned out they didn't give me a salad at all. They gave me a bacon ranch McCrispy or something along those lines. Basically a chicken patty that had a bread coating on it and had a bunch of ranch sauce on it. So I thought, well, I've never had one of these. I guess I'll go ahead and try it. So I took the buns off and had the chicken patty plus the 2 burger patties, and that was my supper. I did have some peanuts beforehand because I thought, I don't know if this is going to fill me up totally. So I had a handful of peanuts, then I ate those burger patties, the chicken patty, drank the Diet Coke. Beforehand, I was at 94. Afterwards, I was at 102. So there was a bit of a rise, but not much. An 8-point rise is nothing to worry about. You could say that will be a approved meal, but the truth is I won't be ordering that bacon ranch McCrispy sandwich probably ever again. I didn't even like it that much. Plus, I don't like meat that has a breaded coating on it. Anyway, but that's an example, right? I tested before, tested after, found that I was well within range. So that's just to get you started. Baby steps. Just get started testing, doing those post-meal tests, testing your blood sugar about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes after you have that last bite. And see where that takes you and start compiling your personalized Beat Diabetes menu and meals. I want you to know that I have another YouTube channel. It's called by my name, Dennis Pollock, and on this channel, my wife Benedicta and I teach the basics of the Bible in a simple, user-friendly fashion. Normally, on Mondays, I post what I call a video devo, in which I take various Bible topics and share scriptures to help you understand the subject a little better. On Thursdays, I post Bible studies by Benedicta and me as we sit at our dining room table and discuss various portions of the Scriptures. We cover book studies and Bible character studies. So catch me on Mondays sharing devotional talks, and Benedicta and me on Thursdays as we study the greatest book in the world, the Bible. Check in the description to find a link to our Bible teaching channel, which is called by my name, Dennis Pollock.